So let me ask this now. This could seem like it could be tough for some people. Maybe it's a little difficult. Maybe it's a little time consuming, right? And they think, man, maybe I could just get someone else to do this for me, right? Would it be beneficial for some of these, our listeners to go, can I just bypass this? Can someone just run these numbers for me? Or, dude, if you're not watching the Smart Grow, if you're not, you gotta watch. Would it be beneficial to do this yourself and know your numbers, right? Or would it also be beneficial just to hire someone to do this for you and then just give you a property they think would be really good?
So I really throw a lot of shade on a lot of the done for you turnkey. Here's a property. We underwrote it. We found it. You just need to write the check, right? We go out. I don't do that myself, so I won't sell something I won't do. Now, do I feel really confident that I could give somebody some really good properties? Yeah. Are there other people that could underwrite and give you a property? Yes. The issue is I look at it like, hey, listen, I just went and got you an airplane and gave you an airplane, but you don't know how to fly the damn airplane, right? And you're going to get hurt. You're going to hurt somebody else. And not that you're going to get hurt owning a short-term rental, but you could financially get damaged, right? And so if you don't understand the game you're playing, I've never let somebody else underwrite a property for me. It is not that difficult. It doesn't take that long. I want to be the one. If my name is on the dotted line and I'm responsible and I'm writing the big checks for this property, I want to understand why I'm buying it. Now, does that mean you shouldn't, look at properties that other people send you or provide for you and then double check them and make sure that they work? Absolutely, that's okay. But to just take a property and I tell you, hey, Jake, you should go buy this. And you just buy it because I said to buy it. Yeah. What happens when it's a bad property and you call me up in 6 months? And what if I didn't underwrite it correctly? What if I didn't underwrite it based on your criteria, your property goals, your resources? I could set you up to fail with this. I see this happen all the time. I see good properties delivered with no consideration to the person who's buying it. For example, I just saw this. A person was looking for a turnkey property and they wanted to buy a turnkey property. They didn't want to do it themselves. So they saw online and on Instagram or somewhere and said, we find the property, we underwrite it, we'll design it, we'll get it set up, you buy it. And they did that. And so they ended up saying, hey, listen, we're going to buy the property. And they had to buy the property first. And then the design came and everything else. Well, the conversation was never had. How much money do you have to get this to the finish line? They ended up buying a property that was way too much. Like they could qualify for the mortgage, but it was a 5,000 square foot property. It needed to be furnished. It needed to be designed. They used all their money to close on the property. And they have no money left over, and nobody had the conversation. And they're like, "Oh, I thought I was buying a turnkey property." Well, you were buying the property at first, and I agree with them to an extent. It was not clear, and it was irresponsible from the person selling it. But the person selling it also said, "You buy it." They were designing it. They give them all the stuff that has to be paid. You had to hire their designer, by the way. You're hiring their designer. And so they got a $250,000 design bill on the back end. They're like, we're ready. It's ready to go. Let's put it in. Here's this other bill. And the person who bought the property is like, I thought I was going to be all in for this. Dude. And so it happens all the time where maybe it was misled. Maybe it wasn't. But that was because somebody wanted the easy button. I'm just not a fan of turnkey properties because I feel like you have to take the time to understand the game you're going to play. But also, man, if you're not going to take responsibility for like underwriting a deal, analyzing a deal and saying, yeah, I feel good about this, or I know I don't feel good about it, I just don't feel like you should be in the game. I don't feel like you should have any business owning something you have zero interest running numbers on.
Dude, man, I'm like squirming in my seat right now. That sounds so scary, dude. I mean, if you're like, this is a big decision, man. This is a lot of money to not like want to know the numbers, know the inner details of it.
It's not that difficult either. It's not, people make it act like it's rocket science. I'm telling you, this is not rocket science. It's not that hard to run the numbers and understand the numbers.
I mean, thousands
the data
of people
is available. The data is there to write those massive checks, to walk into something and you don't have the resources, you don't have the time to operate this type of an asset class. You should know that before you dive into it and buy a property.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, right? So you kind of touched on this, but I want to nail it down. The idea that getting an extra set of eyes on the deal,
Yeah.
right? We have tons of members. Do we do that? Do we give them an extra set of eyes?
Yeah. And what?
Just T-ball
Yes.
it up.
Right.
Yeah.
You like I said, it's not that difficult to run the numbers, but the first time you do it, you might leave something out.
Right.
You might have that insurance line item on there that is way underestimated because you were going off your last homeowner's insurance policy that you bought. And you didn't realize that your short-term rental policy in the beach market is going to be 10 times what your last homeowner's policy was. And all of a sudden that property is not profitable. Absolutely. We look over the shoulder. I mean, in our group in Vodyssey,
Right.
and we've underwritten thousands and thousands of deals. So
Right.
we can look at these underwriting sheets, this analysis, and these pro formas and say, yeah, this looks right. Here's some red flags I see. Here's some challenges that I can see. I don't think you have enough here to get it furnished, right?
Right.
It's another thing we look at nonstop.
Right.
And I'm like, man, like, you bought the property. It's like at the end of the day, the responsibility does not lie on the person that sold the turnkey property, in my opinion. The responsibility lies on you.
Yep.
If you are that bold to go buy a property that somebody says is good and you should buy it without doing a little bit of due diligence on it, it's really your fault.
Bro.
But I mean, that's some of the things that we look at when somebody sends us properties all the time, because they, a lot of times, first-time investors will underestimate what it takes to get these properties where they need to be to get their unfair share of business. Right? We talked about getting our unfair share of business in these crowded markets. Well, that takes some capital. It takes some things to do on the back end. And what if you just didn't underwrite it correctly? You thought, hey, listen, I have $50,000 in my ready to go to put this thing, get it furnished and everything. And you're like, well, that's a 4,000 square foot house. That gives you just $12 a foot. That's not going to get you where you need to go to get this thing set up and designed and furnished. Right. And sometimes you just don't know. And so, having somebody look over your shoulder and give you their opinion based on your property goals and the numbers that you ran to look and say, hey, listen, your first time. And sometimes you do it great, but you just second guess yourself. It's sometimes just nice to hear that somebody says, yeah, this looks good.